by TWI, we can make it very tangible for our warehouse teams on what does it mean for me when you say good quality. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you. Yeah, as it says, consolidating 3 locations into one, actually, and leading WI from project into daily operations. So, but I will just start with this one, because back in April, my husband and I, we went to Bridgeport, Connecticut to see our favorite band, Journey, on their 50th anniversary tour. So, yeah, they're not exactly young anymore, but back in the days, they were a huge band, and I think maybe still huge. In the States, and for some of us, they're still huge. So they have a very famous song. Some might know it if they know Journey, but the point of that song is very important to the point of my presentation here. So, but I will get back to that point later. Yeah, there it was. This is my warehouse. In Køge, where we handle pharmaceuticals. It's the biggest pharmaceutical warehouse in the Nordic region, fully automated and everything, so quite cool. And this week, here we had the first joint TWI training. Our TWI and training coordinator, Adam and I, we joined a training session, 10-hour job instruction training. And it's the 5th session that we've held within the last 2 years with training, where I have been facilitating the trainings. And every time I have these sessions, I just remember how much I love it. Because it's really where we see above the daily work and see how much drive and engagement and knowledge there is out there with my teams, and all the curiosity on why are we doing this and how are we doing and all that kind of things. I just love seeing them, how they grow and how they light up, and all the ideas they get. And I enjoy all the discussions we have. We have discussion about our processes, but also management support and culture and skills, and how do we do onboarding and what is good training. So it really gives so much to us that we have this discussion and being a part of that. And it's a unique opportunity for me to get to know my staff and my colleagues in another way. And also they get to know me in another way. So really loving this. But my TWI journey started back in 2018 with John, actually. At that time, we were in the process of building this new state-of-the-art warehouse, and I was giving the staff the task to stand in front of this and consolidate the 3 old warehouses we had, which were manual warehouses. And we had approximately 30,000 pallets that needs to be transferred into this one. Not that it was a long distance between the warehouses, but still different processes, different management styles, different cultures. And we had to bring the staff together also into this new one. And yeah, going from manual to high tech. And we put on top a new warehouse management system. So yeah, just a small thing to add to it. Yeah. So my colleague Janne, who was our internal lean consultant, and at that time she came across TWI and met John and btp, and she came to me saying, Anja, I found just what you need. It's a training method that can help you train the staff in a standardized way and also help you build the culture across the different warehouses. And before we move, we can start doing it there. So it was a bit hard to turn that one down. So, okay, I need to hear more about this one. So Janne set up a meeting with John, and I was introduced to the TWI method and the concept, and I was sold. So now I just had to sell it to the upper management. That was, it took some convincing. Yeah, but the rest is history. I'm here now talking about TWI, so they were convinced. So we start building a plan. John and Shanna and I, we built a plan on how to select the job trainers, and John trained the first batch, and then Shanna got the certification and she could train the next. So we started in the old warehouses doing job breakdown on jobs that we knew. And we started training there, so to be training for the real training when we got into a new warehouse. And we built up a support system where Shanna was coaching the job trainers. And, and she was administrative support to the job trainers, so they didn't have to think about all these, what should be documented and so on. And finally, in September 2019, we started with the first team in the new warehouse doing job breakdowns on our new processes. And then we started operating in October 2019. One small client, because we knew small steps is the way for success. And in March 2020, then we were ready to start moving the rest of the clients and all the pallets and all the staff. And I don't know if you remember March 2020. Yeah, the whole world turned upside down and COVID hit. So suddenly we had to rethink how we operated, both in the new warehouse and in the old warehouses, and we kept people apart and yeah, all that kind of things. So, and on top of that, the government came and said, could you please build a considerate safety stock for us? Yes, of course we can do that in our new warehouse. Yeah. So I think anyone who has tried to implement new technology and in this scale knows that sometimes things happen. Or just implement a new warehouse management system. That enough is can lead to some technical problems. And of course, we had technical problems as well. And Shanna had actually left us a couple of months before. So it is said that no plan survives the first contact with the enemy. Yeah, and we had not prepared our TWI plan for the enemy. So suddenly we didn't have any support structure. All the technical problems were of course worked on and solved, but we couldn't do the review of the job breakdowns as fast as they solved the problem. So suddenly we were behind on how to train on this. And my warehouse management team and I, we didn't have the energy to support our job trainers. So our TWI setup fell apart. Yeah, the first real bump on the way was there. Today, we're in a whole other position. Of course, we are post-COVID now, so I think we're all happy we can work under normal conditions again. And the warehouse is a dream. It really runs like, yeah, the Ferrari it was meant to be. And I'm so proud of my team because they have turned the hard times we had into real winners' mindsets and the energy they get from getting through all that. And that we can build on now. So what about TWI and why talking about that now? We are past that burning platform that we initially had. But now we talk about the true purpose of TWI, problem solving. Because of course it's a Ferrari and runs like hell, so to speak, but we're still people operating the warehouse and we still make mistakes and we still need to update our processes and so on. So now we can really talk about how to use TWI Job Instruction in our warehouse. So 2 years ago, we decided to relaunch our TWI program. Sorry, I just need a little bit of water here. So my warehouse manager and I, we took the trainer certification ourselves and started training our managers, our team leaders, and our job trainers. We believe that when we invest the time in doing the training ourselves and prioritizing TWI and supporting the structure, it will send a strong message that TWI is here to stay. We want to do this together with our team leaders and with our job trainers. As part of the relaunch, we also restructured the setup and did a rollout plan. So as I said, we started training everyone, not everyone, but all our team leaders and job trainers. Also those who had the initial 10-hour course, they had it again. So we now know we've trained them all with the same message from us. And we had a kickoff meeting with our management, job trainers and team leaders, so everyone was aligned on how are we going to do this, and what if this or this, and have a discussion about the things that we could encounter on the way. And then we had a series of information meetings for our teams, so they were prepared on this training. Of course, some of them had tried to be trained like this when we started, but there was also new staff coming in and they haven't tried it before. So that was a bit of explaining, now we are going to do this, and why are we going to do this? Some of those who had been with us from the first launch also got the information, why are we doing this again? So, and everyone is very supportive to this, so that's really good to see. But a very important addition we did as well was that we appointed a TWI training coordinator. Adam, as I mentioned in the beginning, he's now full-time coordinating our TWI setup. So he's facilitating the program, he's planning training sessions and process confirmations with the team leaders and the job trainers and the trainees, so he keeps track of who is going to do what, when, and all that kind of things. And he coaches the job trainers, and yeah, it's a fantastic setup where the job trainers really get the support on the program also, that what about this and how to do that. If they need training before they go out, they can train with him, and that's really good. And he facilitates the job breakdown process also. So he does all the administrative work and all the documentation and all that coordination with our quality management system, because of course quality is in our DNA, and we need to have this in place. Yeah, and Adam is now also train the trainer certified, so he can support them from the manual, so to speak, on how to do this, and also train our next trainers. Well, we talked a lot about the unknowns before. The first time we launched this, we didn't know what we were going into and the problems we would encounter. Now we know that. So we talk about what we want to achieve with good quality training, and we talk a lot about how we can pass on our knowledge to others. We talk about safety and quality culture. Again, quality is a part of how we do business, but by TWI we can make it very tangible for our warehouse teams on what does it mean for me when you say good quality. And they have so many good things and input to us also on how to do this. Three main learnings from my journey has been that there needs to be a structure in place, and there needs to be someone who facilitates this and drives it forward. It's not enough only with management support. Yeah, it's really good, go do that, but need someone who can coach them on getting this working. And that is what Adam does, so really good. And of course the leadership support is really a key to have a sustainable setup. And without that, the investment would have a hard time. It showed when we couldn't support it, things fell apart. Yeah. And last, you need a plan. It must be flexible enough to adapt when encountering the enemy, and adjust to changing conditions, because there will be change. We will never have no change. It's not a quick fix to do TWI. You really have to mean it and to be in it for the long haul. So when you get impatient and you don't see the results in the beginning, See if it wants to do this. No. Yeah. Don't stop believing. Yeah. And that's actually the title of the song I mentioned in the beginning. It is actually named now the officially biggest song. So, and I think that was what Richard said also. Don't stop believing. Be persistent. It will get there. Yep. Thank you for letting me share my story.